Top destination in Europe with secret places. Welcome to the world of hidden gems in Europe. These are the lesser-known, off-the-beaten-path destinations that are bursting with charm, culture, and character. They are typically rich in history, have a unique local culture, and offer authentic and immersive travel experiences. These are the kind of places where you can truly get away from the crowds and connect with the local way of life. Europe is a tourist magnet. Its colorful cities and towns capture our curiosity and spark our inner explorer. History lovers appreciate Europe's ancient architecture, while outdoor enthusiasts are mesmerized by its diverse landscapes. And if you're a foodie, it's easy to eat your way through Europe's hidden gems and cosmopolitan cities alike. So before we get started, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for future updates. 1. Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain. Setenil de las Bodegas is a small town in southern Spain that's etched into the cliffs. This means that the people here quite literally live under a rock. The dwellings in town are totally whitewashed, providing a stark contrast for the dark cliffs looming overhead. Aside from its scenic cliffside setting, Setenil de las Bodegas also boasts a pair of noteworthy attractions. Two intriguing sites include the Ohrid Castle and the Church of La Encarnacion. Each is incredibly unique and cements the town's reputation as one of the best underrated places to visit in Europe. Ohrid Castle, which stands at the top of the hill, was formerly an Arab fortress dating back to the 13th century. This medieval castle was one of the last Moorish strongholds before the Christians retook the Iberian Peninsula in the late 1400s. All but one of the castle's original towers were demolished after the last siege. Tucked between Sevilla and Granada, Setenil de las Bodegas is one of the most unique places in Spain and among Andalusia's best-kept secrets. It's miraculous how this town has managed to stay under the radar for so long. Setenil de las Bodegas is only 11 miles, 18 kilometers, north of Ronda, another off-the-beaten-path destination that merits a visit. 2. The Algarve, Portugal. Located in southern Portugal, the Algarve is among the unique places to visit in Europe. While the French, Italian, and Spanish Rivieras steal most of the limelight, I think Portugal's slice of paradise in the Algarve can give each of those spots a run for their money. This region hugs the Atlantic coastline and offers rugged landscapes and windswept beaches that you won't find anywhere else. Whitewashed villages and towns are strewn between sandy coves and beaches, and you won't have to break the bank to stay there. The Algarve is much cheaper and lesser known than its Mediterranean counterparts. Having said that, the region is much less developed for tourism, so if you're expecting touristy enclaves of beach resorts, clubs, and restaurants all over, you're better off visiting those aforementioned places. Check out the soaring cliffs and epic rock formations that the region is known for. Stroll through old fishing villages and endless beaches as you take in the sunshine. It's no wonder this is among the best places to visit in Europe. The Algarve is 155 miles, 250 kilometers, south of Lisbon. Some towns and cities you'll want to visit include Laius, Faro, Tavira, and Albufeira. 3. Perast, Montenegro. Just north of Kotor, one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, lies a small coastal village called Perast. It's cheap, quaint, and seemingly untouched. As such, it's one of the best European hidden gems you should visit. Perast has attracted visitors with its medley of churches, royal palaces, and nearby islets. The most majestic among them is Street Nicola Church, a Baroque masterpiece that dates back to the 17th century. The town is also surrounded by scenic mountains, which watch over the bay below. On your boat, ride to Lady of the Rocks, you'll encounter another small island with an intriguing past, St. George. This natural island is best known for its 12th century monastery. Unfortunately, it's not open to tourists, but you can circle the island by boat for just a few euros. It's very tucked away and as such, deserves a mention among Europe's hidden gems. Perast is just 7.5 miles, 12 kilometers, north of Kotor and less than 50 miles, 80 kilometers, from Dubrovnik, Croatia. It's also 100 miles, 160 kilometers, from Mostar, Bosnia, and Herzegovina, making Perast a popular day trip. Needless to say, there's a lot to see in this region of Europe. So pack your bags and get to it. 4. Tethe National Park, Albania. If you're looking for one of the most unique places to visit in Europe, add Tethe National Park to your bucket list. This underrated vacation spot is nestled in the heart of Albania, and it is a true paradise for nature lovers and adventure seekers. Firstly, it's home to some of the most breathtaking landscapes you'll ever lay your eyes on. The park is located in the Albanian Alps, and it is home to towering peaks, crystal clear rivers, and dense forests. Tethe National Park is also home to a rich and diverse array of wildlife, including rare species of birds and animals that you won't find anywhere else in the world. But what really sets Tethe National Park apart is its rich cultural history. The park is home to a number of traditional Albanian villages that have been passed down for generations. These villages offer a glimpse into the unique way of life of the Albanian people. And you'll have the opportunity to interact with the locals and learn about their culture and traditions. 5. Brisighella, Italy. Brisighella is a medieval fairy tale town just south of Bologna. It's incredibly beautiful and charming, yet somehow managed to keep a low profile. You probably haven't heard of it, which is why it deserves a spot among Europe's best hidden gems. Brisighella, Italy is one of the best secret places and underrated cities in Europe. Brisighella is a secret destination with a dense history and authentic culture. It's tucked between 3 majestic hills, which contain a castle, La Rocca, a clock tower, La Torre, and a church, Montesino. These structures date back to the 14th, 16th, and 18th centuries, respectively. Hiking is a popular activity here, particularly during the summer months. You can hike up from the village by foot to each of the aforementioned sites, where you'll be rewarded with sweeping views of the village and the countryside below. Brisighella is truly a place where you can wander aimlessly and not grow tired of its quaint and colorful streets. But if you do grow tired, you'll have plenty of world-class wines, olive oils, and gelato to try at its restaurants and cafes. Given its glorious nature and charm, Brisighella is among the best unknown places to visit in Europe. 6. Mittenwald, Germany. Mittenwald is a sleepy village that appears to be taken from the pages of a Grimm's fairy tale. It may come as a surprise that Mittenwald has remained one of the best hidden gems and underrated places in Europe, particularly given its proximity to Germany's robust automobile industry. Mittenwald is one of those quintessential German towns that everyone should visit and experience. It's chock full of vibrant energy at every turn, beginning with its colorful architecture. Many of the homes and shops in town date back over 250 years, but you'd think they were built yesterday. Situated along the Germany-Austria border, Mittenwald is just 2 hours by train from Munich and 40 minutes from Innsbruck, Austria. Though it's so close to each of these popular places, it still remained one of the best European hidden gems that you should visit. 7. Varna, Bulgaria. Unlike the first 2 hidden gems on this list, Varna is more of a cosmopolitan European city than a small village. Nevertheless, it has managed to stay out of the limelight thus far. Varna is a seaside resort town lined with beautiful beaches and a lively cultural scene. Locals consider it the jewel of the Black Sea, yet most people outside of Bulgaria haven't even heard of it. In addition to its seaside charm, Varna is also brimming with historical and cultural attractions. A massive Roman bath complex and archaeological museum straddle the city center, as do many eccentric restaurants, cafes, and bars. As a beautiful beach destination and cultural center, Varna is known in Bulgaria for its nightlife. Though Varna has a cosmopolitan vibe, the prices here are surprisingly cheap. This certainly makes up for the premium you'll likely have to pay to get there. Located on the shores of the Black Sea in eastern Bulgaria, Varna is 275 miles, 442 kilometers, east of Sofia. As such, it's about a 5-hour drive or a 2-hour flight from Bulgaria's capital. Alternatively, Varna is 165 miles, 266 kilometers, southeast of Romania's capital, Bucharest. This is the most convenient and economical way to arrive in Varna. Along the way, you'll pass through Transylvania, a historic and mountainous region that every traveler should also add to their hit list. 8. San Marino. Itching to explore winding cobblestone streets and timeless European charm? Look no further than San Marino. Before the 19th century, the Italian peninsula was a politically fragmented cluster of states. The boot-shaped landmass hadn't been united since the days of the Roman Empire. San Marino is a microstate perched high atop a mountain with panoramic views of the Italian landscape below. From here, you'll catch a glimpse of gently rolling hills and vineyards, extending as far as the eye can see. It has the same magical allure as Tuscany without the crowds, making it one of the best hidden vacation spots in Europe. Located on the eastern coast of the Italian peninsula, San Marino is located in the northeastern part of Italy, just inland from the Adriatic coastline. It's a 2-hour train ride from Bologna and 3 hours east of Florence. 9. Ohrid, North Macedonia. A list of the best Europe hidden gems wouldn't be complete without mentioning Macedonia, now called North Macedonia as of 2019. Ohrid, which lies in the western part of the country, is an underrated destination that's worthy of a spot on your bucket list. Nestled on the shores of Lake Ohrid, this city offers a dose of history, culture, and sublime beauty. Ohrid is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's considered the Jerusalem of the Balkans, filled with old-world charm including historic streets, churches, and a medieval castle. They also call Ohrid the Pearl of North Macedonia. Take a stroll through the cobbled streets with views of the lake and surrounding landscapes, and you'll wonder how Ohrid has remained off the beaten path for so long. On the same day, you can explore the city's historic landmarks and go swimming in the lake. One of the best views you'll find is from Street John the Theologian, an old church with sweeping vistas of the lake and surrounding mountains. It was built during pre-Ottoman times in the 13th century and boasts of some beautiful frescoes and Byzantine-style architecture. Ohrid is located in North Macedonia, not far from the Albanian border. The easiest way to get here is by flying into Skopje, the capital, and then taking a bus for 3.5 hours. With its great location and endless things to see and do, Ohrid is one of the most unique places to visit in Europe. 10. St. Gilgen, Austria. St. Gilgen is a tiny village that straddles one of Austria's prettiest lakes, Wolfgangsee. It has everything that you'd expect in an alpine town: pristine scenery, fairy tale houses, and traditional cuisine. St. Gilgen doesn't carry the hefty prices of Salzburg or the crowds of Hallstatt, making it a picture-perfect place to experience Austria's off-the-beaten-path charm. Here's why you should visit one of the best secret and underrated places in Europe. St. Gilgen has a cheerful atmosphere that takes on many forms throughout the year. During the winter, it's a popular skiing destination among Austrians. Zwolferhorn Mountain overlooks the town and adjacent lake, offering an incredible vantage point of the winter wonderland below. During the summertime, the mountain draws avid hikers to its peak. The cable car ride to the top is an experience in and of itself. You'll be amazed by the boundless greenery and alpine lakes that dot the landscape below. In addition to its scenery, St. Gilgen also puts you in a jovial mood with its colorful homes and shops. The facades are painted in every color of the rainbow, and then some. The wooden balconies, quaint guest houses, and family-run restaurants are also quintessentially Austrian. St. Gilgen is 17 miles, 28 kilometers, east of Salzburg, which is just a 30-minute car ride. 11. Rye, England. Looking to stay in one of the most unique places to visit in Europe? Rye is what you've been dreaming of. Rye is the quintessential English town that brings you back in time. It's probably one of the quaintest towns in the entire country, with its charming homes and buildings dating back to the 14th and 15th centuries. It's nestled near the English Channel, offering stunning views of the River Rother and Romney Marsh. Meander down cobbled passageways as you pass by half-timber homes and historic inns. Take in the medieval ambience of Mermaid Street and stop inside the Rye Castle Museum. It's easy to see why this is the best place to visit in Europe. Rye is one of the places in Europe to visit for history lovers. Rye is 70 miles, 112 kilometers, southeast of London, just a 1.5-hour car ride, and a 1-hour train ride away. If you just want to stop by briefly, I recommend doing a guided tour of the whole region. 12. Basel, Switzerland. Though situated in the heart of Central Europe, Basel is a hidden gem worthy of a spot on this list. Spalengate in Basel, Switzerland is among the coolest hidden gems in Europe. The Spalenter Gate of Spalen was built around 1400. It's an iconic site in the heart of one of Europe's most underrated cities. During the summer, Basel is especially lively. The Rhine River that flows through the town provides locals and visitors with a scenic summer swim. The alfresco scene along the riverbank, amid the backdrop of the old town, makes for an incredible sight as you're making your way downstream. Walking along the Rhine River offers some of the most stunning views of Basel, one of the best hidden vacation spots in Europe. In addition, Basel has a thriving art scene. This underrated city is home to over 40 museums and cultural attractions, hence its nickname, the cultural capital of Switzerland. Outside the museums, you'll find plenty of art exhibitions in the streets, most notably in its architecture. Take a walking tour, and you'll love what you see. Basel is a pocket-sized city in the northwestern corner of Switzerland, sharing a border with Germany and France. The city strikes a unique balance between urban cool and a small town by the river. 13. Alentejo, Portugal. Unless you're a wine sommelier or native to Portugal, you probably haven't heard much, or anything at all, about Alentejo. This region in southern Portugal has all but eluded the pleasure and plight of European tourism thus far. With its historic villages, endless vineyards, and steadfast sunshine, the Alentejo region of Portugal covers a huge area of the country, yet surprisingly remains relatively unvisited. Famed for its quality wine production, here you can sleep at quintas, farms, and sample delicious local produce and wine from the source. Start in the city of Évora, where Gothic and Roman history collides amongst whitewashed houses, before taking a road trip through the green vineyards and contrasting arid nature of the landscape. Complete your Alentejo exploration in Beja, an adorable city most famed for its traditional tiles, or on the rugged windswept coast, where black sands provide a different beach escape than the more well-known Algarve. Alentejo covers a broad swath of land in the lower third of Portugal. As such, there are a couple of convenient ways to arrive here from the north and south. In the northern part of Alentejo, you can fly into Lisbon and make the 2-hour drive east to Évora. In the southern part of the region, it's best to fly into Faro. Then, head north for about 2 hours to arrive in Beja, one of the best secret places in Europe. 14. Achill Island, Ireland. This little slice of paradise is located off the west coast of Ireland, and it is the perfect destination for anyone looking to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life. It is home to some of the most breathtaking landscapes imaginable. The island, which is located along the wild Atlantic Way, brims with rolling green hills, picturesque beaches, and rugged cliffs that will take your breath away. If you're a fan of nature, culture, and a good pint of Guinness, then this is the perfect destination for you. It's a place where you can escape the crowds and experience something truly authentic and immersive. Plus, it's an underrated destination, so you won't have to deal with those pesky tourists clogging up all the best sites. Not that there's anything wrong with tourists, of course, they just tend to ruin everything. If you're looking to explore Ireland anytime soon, I highly recommend spending time in the western part of the country. Just be sure to bring a good raincoat. It is Ireland after all. So many visitors of Ireland make it to the cliffs of Moher. However, if you head further north, you'll be treated to unspoiled landscapes like this. 15. Pag Island, Croatia. It's one of Croatia's 1,200 islands in the Adriatic Sea, which may explain how it's managed to keep a low profile and remain one of the best hidden gems in Europe. Unlike other islands in Croatia, which tend to be tropical and covered with dense vegetation, Pag Island is almost otherworldly. It looks more like the moon than our own planet. There are no rivers and trees, but instead, the arid landscape is draped with white stones and lots of salt. It's no wonder why Pag has become a desirable destination for salt-of-the-earth people and beachgoers alike. Also sprinkled around the island are a myriad of secluded beaches. The coastline is relatively calm with its shallow cubs and crystal clear water. Top beaches include Zermatt Beach, Strasko Beach, and Spiaggia de Rusica. In addition to the exotic terrain, Pag Island is also famed for its sheep milk cheese. It's widely considered the best artisan cheese from Croatia. Pag Island is just 35 miles, 56 kilometers north of Zadar, Croatia, equating to roughly a 2-hour bus ride. To arrive here, you'll want to fly into Zadar and then take a bus connection from there. During the summer months, there are also connections to a few other major cities: Split, Zagreb, and Rijeka. However, these cities are much further away than Zadar, so you're better off flying through there. 16. Kazimierz Dolny, Poland. When most international travelers think of Poland, the first places that probably come to mind are Warsaw and Krakow. However, there's a small town nestled between these cities that's equally lovely, yet doesn't draw the same crowds. With a population of only 3,500, Kazimierz Dolny has mostly flown under the radar of European tourism. It's undoubtedly one of the best unknown places in Europe. If you like art, you'll feel right at home in Kazimierz Dolny. The streets are like an endless art exhibition. You'll find art galleries on pretty much every street, where artists and painters eagerly set up shop to sell their work. Fittingly, the homes and shops lining these streets are also vibrant and colorful. For these reasons, Kazimierz Dolny has a reputation for being among the top art hubs in Central Europe. Kazimierz Dolny is just 90 miles, 145 kilometers, southeast of Warsaw, and 160 miles, 260 kilometers, northeast of Krakow. 17. Medina, Malta. When you're standing on the streets of Dina, you feel like you're in Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East all at once. This enchanting city has been a prized fortification for nearly 2,700 years. Its architecture was influenced by many powerful empires, including the Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, Byzantines, and Normans. Today, it's undoubtedly one of the best hidden vacation spots in Europe. Medina has been a home for noble families from Malta, Spain, and Sicily since the 12th century. The walled city of Medina is a place every history and architecture aficionado should visit. Founded in the 12th century, St. Paul's Cathedral is probably the most magnificent building in town. Much of the structure we see today is in the Baroque style and dates back to the late 1600s. If you're a Game of Thrones enthusiast, you'll definitely want to add Medina to your bucket list as well. 18. Zermatt, Switzerland. Unlike the other European destinations on this list, which are relatively inexpensive, Zermatt comes with a steep price tag. But when you consider its setting amid lofty snow-capped mountains, ritzy resorts, and charming cottages, it's definitely worth every Swiss franc. Among wealthy social circles, Zermatt is considered a popular ski resort town. However, for the rest of us, it's definitely one of the best hidden vacation spots in Europe. Zermatt fills the foyer with many prominent roles throughout the year. From January to March, Zermatt is a winter wonderland with a lively après-ski scene. From April onwards, it transitions into a summer resort town, though you can still spot plenty of snow covering the iconic Matterhorn in August. Zermatt is beautiful during all times of the year. In the winter, the snow-covered mountains are ideal for skiing. During the summer, Zermatt becomes a haven for hikers. Regardless of the time of year, you'll have the chance to see Switzerland's most breathtaking landscapes. 19. Figeac, France. Figeac is one of the most underrated and best preserved medieval towns in Europe. Quiet, quaint, and probably the best depiction of what life looked like during the Middle Ages. It's also one of the best unknown places in Europe. In Figeac, a cheerful mix of timber and stone buildings blur into the surrounding landscape. Gentle rolling hills and waterways skirt the beautiful village, a raw and unfettered taste of the French countryside. Figeac is where history and nature harmoniously intersect. What makes this town intriguing and different from the rest is that there aren't any one or two dominant attractions that lure visitors. In fact, there are only a handful of TripAdvisor's things to do that have garnered any reviews. Rather than enticing tourists with specific sites and attractions, Figeac's irresistible draw is its timeless charm. The cobbled streets, 13th century buildings, and sublime landscapes all speak for themselves. It's quite refreshing to find a destination that's retained its sense of liberty and authenticity. There's even a museum to uncover ancient history's biggest riddle. Inside the Musée Napoleon, you'll also find an incredible reproduction of the Rosetta Stone. For those who enjoy the outdoors, Figeac is a great place for hiking and canoeing. On Saturdays, there's also an elaborate market where you can buy local produce. It probably hasn't changed much in several hundred years, and that's the beauty of it. Figeac is essentially the midpoint between Toulouse, Montpellier, and Bordeaux. It's just a 2-hour drive north of Toulouse, 3 hours northwest of Montpellier, and 3 hours east of Bordeaux. 20. Triglav National Park, Slovenia. Triglav National Park is Slovenia's lone national park and largest protected area. It's located in the eastern part of the Julian Alps and is home to the highest mountain in the country. If you're looking to get off the beaten track in the Julian Alps, this is it. Take a walk along the hiking trail at Triglav National Park, where natural beauty meets cultural heritage. As you're exploring the beautiful lakes, streams, mountains, and villages, it's easy to see why this national park has inspired people for generations. Go hiking and mountain climbing to soak in the unique valleys and mountains. The scenery here is breathtaking, especially during the autumn when the trees are ablaze with fall colors. When you're visiting Triglav National Park, be sure to spend ample time relaxing, unwinding, and connecting with nature. Triglav National Park is in northern Slovenia near the borders of Italy and Austria. It's about a 30-minute drive from Villach, Austria, and an hour from Ljubljana, Slovenia's capital. Travel safety tips. From drive-by purse snatchers to identity thieves to much more dangerous criminals like kidnappers and sex traffickers, there's always some story in the news about someone taking advantage of travelers. Even so, you should always keep these safety practices in mind when you travel, and I recommend you do too. 10 simple travel safety tips everyone should know. 1. Don't wear flashy jewelry. Wearing expensive flashy jewelry is one sure way to make yourself an obvious target for robbery. Leave it at home, friends, especially if you plan to travel to crowded areas. 2. Drink responsibly. This has to be one of the most important safety tips for travelers. When you're away from home, you're more likely to get lost or end up in a dangerous neighborhood. And being obviously drunk makes you an easy target for scams, robbery, or worse. Oh, and ladies, never forget the golden rule of safe drinking in public. Keep an eye on your drink at all times. 3. Be smart about your money. Any solid resource of travel safety information will tell you that it's never a good idea to carry huge amounts of cash. Instead, open an account with an international bank or credit card company so you can use local ATMs. If you absolutely must withdraw large amounts of cash at once, leave the bulk of it locked up safely in your hotel or hostel and carry only what you'll need for the day. 4. Be aware of popular scams. Research the place you're visiting to see what the local scammers are up to. Scams range from RFID scanners to ploys using children to play on your sympathy. You'll be less likely to fall for these scams if you've heard about them ahead of time. 5. Know the phone number for emergency services. Be sure to look up the emergency services number for your destination, even before you get there. It's also a good idea to look up the number for your country's nearest embassy before you leave. 6. Use the right bag. Crossbody bags are safer than shoulder or handbags and can prevent people from grabbing your bag as they run or drive by. There are tons of bags made specifically for travelers, with features such as slash-proof straps, RFID blockers, and locking zippers. Invest in a good bag that suits your needs and preferences. 7. Bring travel locks and use them. You can save a few bucks by coming prepared with your own lock if you plan to stay in a hostel. Even if you're not staying in a hostel, having a travel lock that can secure your bag to your seat or chair while dining or in transit will help keep your valuables safe from theft. 8. Keep digital copies of important documents. When traveling, your passport may be the most valuable thing you carry. In the event of a stolen passport, having a digital copy will help make the process of getting a replacement easier. 9. Check in with friends and family often. Before you leave, let someone know your itinerary and update them to any changes of plans. Make a habit of checking in with a close friend or family member back home at the end of each day. I know this can seem like a hassle, but ultimately it's better to be safe than sorry. If something terrible were to happen, you'll get help faster if someone knows where you were supposed to be that day. 10. Use apps for emergency alerts. There are a variety of apps out there aimed to provide safe travel information and help travelers save. Tethe is a great app that alerts users to potential dangers or disruptions to travel in real time. It also includes tips for avoiding the latest scams and helps users locate nearby hospitals. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you liked the video, so please hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel for future updates. And don't forget to comment on your favorite place from this video in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.